strategy that executes at the highest level.
That's where we focus on billions of dollars in real estate.
Chasing business. Now all of a sudden I was attracting that.
You're going to get a lot of no's before you get that first yes.
You're not doing it consistently.
You're everywhere all the time. People will take you.
You have to outproduce your problem.
It has everything to do with the mindset and the discipline.
Don't try to be making a withdrawal before you've made a deposit.
Focusing on the quality, not the quantity.
Continue to move forward and grow.
What is up, Every Agent Wins fam? Today we have another fantastic show for you. We have an actual business partner of mine personally, Mr. Randy Byrd. Randy Byrd is a former Tom Ferry coach. Now he has his own coaching company called ByrdHouse Development. Today we're going to be talking about the art of building a real estate team. Now, Randy knows exactly what he's talking about. He was a team leader for many, many years at Keller Williams and moved on to other brokerages. We're gonna be talking about when you should actually make that decision on scaling your business and taking it to the next level with team members, who you should hire, what type of activities you should be doing, and when the actual great time is to scale your business. We're also going to be breaking down how and when to scale, what math to use, and all things of that sort. So stick around, check it out, and we'll be back with you right after a message from our sponsor.
So you're a new agent. You don't know where to start. You've done typical agent things like cold calling.
Have you ever thought of selling your home? Hello? Tom?
Hi, looking to sell your home?
And doing open houses. You're not making any progress. So you download the Bellwood Agent and you follow directions provided. You find a seller. Bellwood likes the house. Within a few days, you get an accepted contract. You show the house. Bellwood buys the house. You get paid. You relist the property once flipped. You sell the property. You get paid again. You did this with no knowledge or experience. Rinse and repeat.
Hey, Tom. Still looking to sell your home? Bellwood's buying.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is Ronnie, and this is the Every Agent Wins show, where we are bringing the best real estate folks on the planet together in the same spot. We have a doozy today for you. We got Randy Byrd, ByrdHouse Development Coach. What's up, my friend?
What's up, Ronnie? I'm doing great, man. I'm excited about being on your show today.
Oh, man. Randy's a killer, man. So Randy is a former Tom Ferry coach. He, for 4 years, now has ByrdHouse Development, which is doing his own thing. He's actually one of my business partners, which I am super blessed. Thank you so much, my friend. 28-year contractor, past KW coach, doing everything, speaking, training, mentoring in the business, dude. Tell me a little bit about how your day's going, my friend.
If I was any better, I'd be you, Ronnie. That's how it is.
We're bringing energy, baby. I love it, bro. I love it. I love it.
Have a good day.
Yeah, man. So what I want to talk about today is the art of building the team. I know this is something that you specialize in, something that you've done, and you've scaled tremendously. So tell me, I know a lot of people make big mistakes in this, right? So tell me, what is the first hire that somebody should make?
Yeah, it's a great question. How about if we talk about the first hire they should not make? Because that's what comes up even more.
There we go. That's it.
So a lot of agents, when they get into production, they start having 1, 2, 3, 5 transactions a month. You know, they think the first thing they want to do is get a buyer's agent to assist them in showing those properties. And that's typically the worst mistake they can make in their real estate business. And this might fly in the seat of conventional wisdom with most agents, but really the first hire, Ronnie, is the assistant. The assistant is the most important role that you can place in that position as you're scaling. So, you know, you're Vanna White, right? You're the agent, you're the public's eye. You want to make sure that you're Vanna White, and not starting to send your clients to probably an inexperienced buyer's agent just to leverage you. That comes later, but the first hire is going to be an assistant, so you can then replicate yourself and you can use yourself for the highest and best use. The dollar producing activity is job one for agents, and that's scalable. You know, there's a number, it's about 25 to sometimes 40 transactions. You could be an independent agent, very profitable with a full-time assistant, and really have a life as well. So that's kind of step one.
So let's break this down a little bit. So you're talking, so if you want to go like big time, so I'm talking to you, the big mass producing crazy agent right now. If you want to go big time, so you're going assistant first, and then how does that play out after that?
So assistant first until you get up into the transactional. It could be different because of sales prices and everything, but let's just say it's that 20 to 40 transactions is typically when an agent runs up against their bandwidth of what they can handle with a full-time assistant. A TC is a separate role. Another common mistake that agents make is they go, you know what, I'm doing like 20 transactions at $350 a piece. That's $7 or $8 grand. I can hire an assistant and then she could do everything. And then I'm saving money basically because they have their assistant doing all the TC work. This might strike a chord because I know a lot of agents, including myself, went down that journey. But frankly, it's another misunderstanding of the real estate business. The TC is a very specific role, and the great TCs are used to doing volume and used to handling just the transactional needs of the real estate transaction. The assistant is somebody, again, totally different. Their first line of defense in your calls and in your communication with your clients. They're helping you scale and become good at what you're doing. The TC does none of that. So if you have them doing mutual tasks or split profiles, again, you're going to reach a threshold where that's not working in your business. You're going to have to break that apart and get those two separate. It's best to start from the beginning. Most agents, when they enter the business, they're like, well, I'm going to do my first 10, 15 transactions all on my own. I need to learn this. Well, your learning is costing you thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars a year.
And time. And
well, that's
most importantly is time. Is that your money?
It's a time trade-off. So if you're spending, even 5 or 6 or 7 hours on each transaction in total paperwork, which is modest, you're getting paid $10 an hour for that transactional paperwork instead of going out and selling and being the best you can to be your client. So, I think those two are probably the number one and two things that come up in terms of scaling the beginning parts of a business.
Right. So you got to that point, and I still want to expand on this a little bit more. Is the next hire a buyer's agent? Is it a listing agent? It probably will all depend on who you're targeting your business to, correct?
It does. It depends on, the clientele you're targeting. It depends on a lot of things like sales prices and everything else. Ideally, the agent, the team leader, the agent that is the rainmaker of the team, they want to handle the highest and best use, which means an $800,000 listing is going to trump a $150,000 listing. Mm-hmm. A buyer that's looking for an $800,000 house is going to trump a buyer that's looking for a $150,000 mobile on a half an acre. So not that you want to, qualify people in that way, but this is your business. You're looking for the highest and best use of your time. And, I love doing the math breakdown. If you look at the agent that's making $200 grand a year, right? We'll just do some quick math. $200,000 a year of gross commission income, right? We'll talk before splits and all that stuff.
Right.
The average amount of hours in a year is 2,080. When you're an employer, that's a number that's pretty relevant. 2,080 hours is a 40-hour work week times the year. So divide that by 2,000.
And none of us work 40 hours a week.
No, but let's just put it.
Just give an average. Yeah.
Relate, right?
Yeah.
So that is $96.15 an hour. That's what you make if you're making 200 grand a year in this business. If you're making 100 grand, you're still at $44 an hour. So why would you want to do a $10 an hour position? Or the best assistant you can buy is $25 an hour. You're losing half your money by trying to be the assistant. And, one of my favorite sayings is if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant.
You're 100%. You're everything, right? You're the marketing, you're the assistant. I mean, that's everything.
Absolutely.
So you go from hiring the assistant, obviously. I mean, to me, a TC is a no-brainer, like in any way, shape, or form.
A TC is almost just like, it's like doing
should be included.
Necessary,
should
right?
be included, right? Okay, and so then you go buyers or buyers or a listing agent. At some point, do you scale and go maybe a marketing person, right? Because that's where we're getting our business.
Yeah, totally. So
we're a glorified marketer, 100%.
We are nothing but marketers. That's the end of the story, really. And, a lot of agents, especially the agents that build a career on referrals and networking, their sphere of influence, their SOI or sphere, past clients, PC, the agents that are working in that, that's great, but you still need to navigate those waters with marketing and create self-worth to them, create that identity or that brand that is valuable to them. And doing so, you're providing that value proposition to why you stay relevant to them. So, if we had to walk it through, say we wanted to fast forward a team from a single agent doing 6 deals a year to doing 100 deals a year in a year, right?
There we go.
Kind of fast forward, you just poured water and gasoline on that. Very first hire is an assistant. The very next hire would probably be a buyer's agent to help you with the lead generation that you're now providing in the realm of getting more transactional business. 1, 2, 3, 5 buyer's agents. It's all the same. It's just the scalability of leads. Mm-hmm. I know I'm talking fast, but here's a number to write down. 35 leads a month per buyer's agent. So
That's good.
Great buyer's agent can handle 50. A crappy buyer's agent can handle 15. But if you look at the average across all the agents in the US and take that average, it's about 30 to 35 leads per month. And everybody always argues this point, and I love it because I'm like, well, tell me about it. What's coming up for you? And they're like, 30 leads a month, that's only 1 a day. I can handle 10 leads a day. That's 300 a month. And I go, okay, awesome. So let's go back to my analogy of 30 leads a month. 30 leads a month is a round number. That's 1 a day. That means in 5 days, you're going to get 5 leads. That doesn't seem very many. And then you're only going to get to talk to 1 or 2 of those people. Nobody's ready. The next leads come in. So let's take it by a month. 30 leads a month, you're only going to have, say, 20% are real interested in real estate, right? So that's 6. Not very many, but you have 6 people. Maybe none of them want to see anything.
Sure.
And then month 2 comes in, you get another 30. So now you have 60. And out of that 5 that like something, now you have 10 that are really kind of interested in real estate. Now you have 1 that wants to go see property. And you're only in month 2. Now, when you keep compounding this, month 3, you got 90 leads. Now you have 15 people, 120 leads. Now you got 20 people, and they're starting to want to see properties, and you're building that relationship. So within 4 to 6 months, I'm going to bury you if you're doing more than 30 leads a month in my system. Mm-hmm. So that means if you're an agent that's providing 100 unique leads a month to your real estate business, you can get 2 to 3 buyer's agents immediately. And, I've coached agents go, I have 400 leads a month coming from. Well, a website hit is not a lead. A lead is somebody raises their head, clicks on a property and wants to see it, wants more information, or gives all their information to you about a transaction that's within 1 to 12 months. That's what I can consider a lead. So when we're scaling that, if we look at the 1 year, 100 transactions, right? Assistant, maybe multiple buyer's agents, depending on your lead flow. Immediately, you're going to get into marketing. You're going to have more listings, more buyers. You want to up your game in your marketing envelope, which is also going to create more static business from that sphere of influence. And then really scaling that into your professional, model. You're basically your brand, whatever your brand is going to be for you. Like you have an amazing brand. I love it. The Rescue Ronnie show. And then you have this show, Every Agent Wins, and you have some other pieces. Those take time. So either you got to do them or you've got to have an income to support paying that to do it, right? So as we're growing our business, you've got 2 things. You've got check equity or you got sweat equity. And in the beginning, you want to focus on sweat equity and do it yourself. And then as you progress, you can start doing check equity where you're writing checks to videographers and people to handle your stuff, good. Like a big baller like you, where
I like
you
that, man.
Checks and doing it.
Hey, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. I mean, the building a brand isn't easy. A lot of people look at it. It's just writing on the wall. That's not what it is. It's hard work and getting it out there. And like we talked about, it's marketing your brand, marketing your whole business, right? So, and you talked a little bit about scaling before. And I know a lot of people, and I've got there myself, is they get to that 20, 25 deals a year and they're like, God, dude, I'm like going crazy here. It's hard to see my family. How do I scale this and switch and stop changing time for money, right? So how do I hire somebody, but it's scary, right? Because then you have to train that person, and it takes away from your production and all that stuff. How do you suggest that somebody takes that leap? What is like I know you said 20 deals or so, but is there another factor that goes into that? How somebody can actually just pull the trigger on that?
So there's no factor. It really depends on them, right? But what we want to look at is ROI. What's the return on the investment of the hours you're putting in?
There we go.
And I know more agents in my coaching program that work 70 hours versus one that work 40 hours. So I get that this business could be taxing on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to run your business like a business, you have to treat it like a business. And the CEO has to work sometimes when it's necessary. But if you're just working 90 hours a week and you're crushing your own income, I guarantee I'll point things out in your personal life or your friendship life or your religious and spiritual life that are out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at this all as kind of an envelope of what their capacity is per agent. But the reality is there's some models that we can follow to make sure that you're going along with what other agents are doing. But to answer your question, get a coach, get in a mastermind group, get together with some other agents that have done it before you. Don't be shy.
There you go. I've
had top agents, want to take me to lunch and interview me just because they're trying to learn, right? And that's what agents do.
That's what I'm doing right now, man. I'm learning. I like it.
You're on the cutting edge. I do it. I'm always looking for somebody that is just brighter than me, which is there's a lot of them, and I'm looking to lock arms with them. I'm looking to either mastermind or just add value to them in some way because they're adding value to me.
I love it, man. I love it. So we're obviously in this weird, interesting time right now, and you can either sit on the sidelines or you can go hard right now. I mean, there's no in between right now. You need to either go or not go. And COVID has really been a hard place for a lot of people. And I sympathize with a lot of people right now. But right now is the time to take action. What are you thinking the fastest way somebody could grow their business during the COVID time? Like, what is the activity or simply something that they can do every day in order to grow their business?
Yeah. And I'm going to give you something completely elementary. It's going to sound stupid and too simple, but it's true. But first of all, I don't want to take anything away from COVID. It's just been a shit sandwich of a year, excuse my language, but it's been a tough year for everybody and everybody's recalibrating what they thought was their normal. But the number one thing you could do in this market, and you've probably heard this 10 times this year, it's just already doing it at a level 10, is communicate with your database at a high level. Communicate your database at a high level, a frequency that is probably every couple weeks, because it's necessary. They need it. They need to hear what's going on in the world. They need to hear what's going on with you personally. They need to be loved on, because a lot of people are isolated right now from family, from friends, from communication, and they're getting their information from one source, which is the noisy thing on the wall. And that's the bad place to get it from, because it's getting into our mindset. So by you being the light and being the light in the mindset of what's going on with them, their finances being their number one investment, their, what's going on in their world, what's going on with their home needs. And are they looking at moving? Are you talking about those things of, hey, how is COVID affecting you in your house? Is the space okay? Really caring about them without a salesman's tongue.
There you go.
That's the number one thing we can do. And then there's a lot of things that support that we could do, of bringing items of value, bringing market reports to let them know what's going on with the market. Let them know, what the future looks like in real estate, which nobody knows, but the indicators are now there that the housing market's going to steamroll into 2021.
Absolutely.
I know 6 months or so ago during the height of COVID lockdowns, everybody was thinking 2020 was going to be the year that we correct and crash. They tie it to an election. They tie it to something. The bottom line is rates, inventory. These things are guiding what's going on with the market, and neither one are changing in the near future. So, Tom Ferry, all the big players in the industry are all looking at 2021 being almost a mirror look at 2020. So when you look at your business, you nailed it on the head. You said, are you on the sidelines or are you going hard at it? And I'm like, there is no sideline, right? There's no sidelines. You have to outproduce your problems. And this could sound like a soapbox, but maybe you need to hear it. Get off the sidelines. You have to outproduce your problems. If your problems are this big, you have to outproduce your problems this big. period, end of story. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You can tell me any situation you want, but you don't understand. I'm in the luxury, but you don't understand Tahoe's different. You don't understand. I'm like, I understand all that. You could tell I'm getting animated. It doesn't matter. Outproduce your problems. Work harder than the other guy. One of my favorite guys on the planet, Will Smith, actor. He's like, you will not kill me on the treadmill because I will die before I will be dead. I won't know if I won or lost because you will not beat me on the treadmill. And he takes that work ethic into his acting careers, his singing careers, his life. That's where I'm asking you to dig into and find that place that your family would be proud of, that you would be proud of, and just outproduce your stinking problems. Sounds easy, but it takes discipline and commitment to do it. But bro, I can't tell you how many agents, as part of my daily activity and my commitments, I reach a lot of agents. I support and talk to a lot of agents in the industry, either in my coaching program or in my circles of influence. And the top producers are going at it. They're taking December and treating it like their life depends on it to establish their success in January, February, March of 2021 and outproducing their problems, taking advantage of it. And frankly, I'm talking to probably, let's call it 25% of the agents. Hey, I'm taking December off. It's a real weird year anyway. I just, how many transactions? Well, my business is way off. All the more reason I'm just going to get my head together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your head's going to get smashed against the wall in January and February because you got no business going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it just circles and gets worse. So you hit a topic with me that I'm fired up about clearly.
I love this, man. This is fun to talk about, man. I love it when your passion totally went to a new level. And that is what makes you special, man. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that.
But I care about people. I care about other agents. And, you don't coach if you don't have a big heart for other agents. And it comes from the challenges that we all went through in our careers, right? 18 years in the real estate industry and got my butt handed to me many a times. 2008 and 9, we were begging for short sales. When you beg for short sales, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
Let's face it. That's a bad day when you got 40 short sales and you're trying to manage a portfolio of a bunch of short sales. I hope we don't see that again. I don't suspect we will. But the bottom line is we have to work through whatever comes along and stay in this industry.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for sharing. That is really, really good knowledge. But I want to ask you one last thing.
Yeah.
And I want you to do this because I know that you're aligned with some amazing people. You've come in contact. You talk to some of the most influential people on this planet, in my opinion. If you were to go follow somebody or read a book or watch a podcast or a video, who's that one person that if somebody's listening or watching that would absolutely just change their life today?
I wish there was an easy answer for that, Ronnie. I'd love to give you that. Just listen to this guy and your life will change. But I literally have like 10 of those guys. And I mean that because they all mean different things to me.
Right.
Tom Ferry was a big, big deal to me. And I was attracted to him both as a client and then later as a coach. Tom Ferry, I think, is one of the leading coaches in mindset and belief in the world. And Bill Pipes, number 2 in the company, my personal coach. Those guys are at a high level of really what's going on in the real estate space. I look at Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning. That changed my life when I read that book, The Miracle Morning, and how important it is. My coach had been talking to me for years about setting up your morning routine in the morning for an amazing day. I had to do it in 2020. Again, I've done it before when I went through some pretty crazy losses in my life. Lost my brother to suicide, lost my ex-wife to suicide, hit some dark moments. And I remember digging in and going, I just need somebody to grab onto. Anthony Robbins, I grabbed onto.
Yeah.
I grabbed, Tom Ferry came to me in that phase of my life. Miracle Morning, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've read that book so many times. The pages look like, I'm using it for, something in my car dash or something. It's just tore up. And these things are my go-tos, right? They become my Bibles of my business, right? My business life. What do I need to dig in to be the best I could be in that space? And then get in a headspace that allows me to do this, Before we got on today, I was quiet for a couple of minutes. I envisioned and, I really painted a picture of how this was going to go, the energy I was going to bring, how I want to bring value to you and your listeners. And this mindset is important. And we don't do this enough in our business. We just, slap on that smile and make it happen. But if you're a Tasmanian devil inside, it's going to come out on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're out of alignment with something going on in your life and you're trying to operate in your business at a very high level, it's just not possible. And so coaching's my favorite, my favorite thing, because it always reminds me every time I get on a coaching call and somebody has a problem, when I'm coaching them, I'm really coaching myself, either from experiences or what I want to be like, what I want to have a vision of myself in my mind that I can contribute to them. So coaching for me has done that. So I don't know if it's a direct answer, but that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Dude, I love what you say about that morning routine hit me a little bit, because I've had to think of that as well. Like, what's my morning routine? How am I going to get started for my day and just bring gasoline every freaking day? And I found I go in my spa every morning at like 6 a.m. and then I jump in my freezing ass pool. And that just starts my day. And there's
a lot of science behind that, Ronnie.
Oh my gosh, my brain is like clear. Everything. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of science behind that. And I've tried the cold showers through Andy Frisella, 75 Hard, Don Yoakum, Tom Daves, myself, a bunch of others competed and completed 75 Hard last year. And it was a life-changing experience for me. Honestly, 75 days of committed discipline, little things, not big things.
Yeah.
Taking a picture of yourself every day, drinking a gallon of water. To this day, I still carry water balls with me everywhere I go because I'm focused on that gallon of water a day.
Oh, yeah.
But you're so right. Anything you could do to feed your brain, because your brain and your mindset is really what's in charge, whether we'd like to admit it or not. How we look at the world, it's either a loving or a hostile place. You've heard it a lot of different ways. But the reality is, we come from a 200,000-year-old brain. We're made to run when things come around us that can hurt us. We have a fight or flight mechanism in our body that, when somebody scares you, take 3 steps and then you go, what am I running
What
from?
was that? Yeah. Yeah.
It's there. It's designed to protect us, but it can also hurt us with the amount of content and negative news and fake news and everything that goes on in our world. We have to buffer ourselves from it. And I've got a couple of coaching clients right now, very private to my coaching clients, but mindset's been a big deal in 2021 or 2020. And we've really honed in on some of the things, the activities that are creating the chaos in their lives. And if you show me your calendar, I could show you how successful you are and almost how many transactions you do in your business if I look at somebody's calendar.
Yep.
Right. And that just comes after a couple of years of really working with high-performing agents of how they time block and what they allow their brain to intake and the people they're with. I've got a bunch of cliche little things that I say, but one of my favorite is, show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. Right. And that stings sometimes when you say it slow. It's like, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you who you are, because you are a makeup of those 5 friends. And, people that really, really want to have a high achievement level, especially in a coaching relationship with me, one of the first things I dig into is I want to see your calendar and I want to see who you hang out with. What's going on for you? Are you hanging around with Tom Daves and Ronnie's? Are you hanging around those people that are high-minded and just absolutely gunning for it? Or are you hanging around the ones that are at the water cooler or at the coffee machine talking crap about everybody in the office, or caught up in that drama more importantly than contacting your people? And so, show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. And it goes for business or personal.
I love it, man. I love it. This has been amazing, brother. I appreciate it so much. And I like how you're talking about not bringing that negativity and really focusing in on what is going to help your life and spending time with those people that are going to raise the level of you.
Yeah.
Right. So, dude, I love what you're doing. And I really appreciate you on a personal level, because you've influenced my life quite a bit. And I would like to see maybe you be able to influence other people's lives. So tell me a little bit about how somebody can get in contact with you, say if they want to just have a personal conversation with you, or if they want to take their business to the next level with your coaching platform.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. My coaching's pretty full. So I only coach 1 day a week now. So I limit it to my I call it my inner circle or my mastermind group, but you could reach out to me either randybyrd.tv, and it's RANDYBYRD.tv. Obviously, Coach Birdman is on all my handles, Instagram, Facebook. You could find me pretty much anywhere, LinkedIn. But randybyrd.tv is probably the best in my coaching platform. And I have a place where we could do a free 15-minute assessment call. I do that with anybody, just frankly, because I do enjoy to give back. And frankly, the relationship's got to be a fit, right? Not everybody is a good fit for me, and I'm not a good fit for everybody. Mm-hmm. So when you reach out to me, it's not a matter of trying to sell you into a program like a lot of the big companies need to do to keep up the numbers. Mine's more like hey, let's stop. Let's look at it and see why we might be a good fit. And more importantly, what are your goals, dreams, and visions that I can hopefully help you achieve? But that's the best way, brother.
Randy Byrd, you're a star, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. You enjoy. Have a good one, brother.
Thank you, Ronnie. Talk to you soon.
Enjoy, brother.